Where do you come to get all your news? You already know. It is Washington Informer. I am Misha Green, managing editor, and I am so excited to welcome you to another episode of Let's Talk as we welcome students back to school. It's hard to believe it's already that time of year again. And I feel like we were just celebrating summer and summer break, but we are in that back to school season, and all across the DMV area and Prince George's County, families are preparing school supplies, adjusting schedules, and getting their children ready to return to the classroom. And for our back to school edition, we're taking a closer look at what students and parents can expect all across the DMV. And because of that, we are so excited to have Prince George's County Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Sean Joseph here with us today. You've been with us before, and so we so thank you for your time, but I'm glad that I get to do this interview.
All right, let's do it. Let's do
it. and really learn more about the return and what it takes to be prepared for back to school season.
Yeah.
So first of all, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know this is an exciting but busy time for you.
It is. It is. Teachers started yesterday, and so they were off and running. And today I had a chance to see our 33 new principals and the new principal orientation. It's just a good time. I mean, it's an exciting time. It's probably the most joyous time of the year for me to see kids ready to come, particularly kindergartners. Like, I love going into a kindergarten class at the beginning of the year when they're just learning school and just eyes just shiny and bright. It's a great time.
Yes. I'm just thinking of the cute factor of, 5-year-olds starting school and getting ready, and how inspiring that can be for those who are continuing their journeys in academia.
Right.
Now, I know every school year begins with so many changes and, sometimes new priorities. Last year was the big shift with cell phones. I remember we were diving deep into. What are some of the important changes that folks should be aware of this year heading into the 26-27 school year?
Yeah, a couple things. One, we are adding 5 minutes to the bell schedule to be in compliance with Maryland state law. That won't have a huge impact on the day-to-day. Buses are still going to leave and come on time. It's tagged on to the end of the day. But note that there are 5 minutes every day additional this year. In addition, we're starting with a new behavioral management program we're excited about. So all 209 schools in Prince George's County will be working with 7 mindsets. We're going to be teaching kids, 7 mindsets for them to live out their wildest dreams and be happy. And it's a behavior management support piece. We are working actively to improve, our attendance rates. And we think a big part of that is just kids having a sense of belonging in schools. But having a consistent, comprehensive program for the whole system is going to be new, and parents will be hearing their kids talking about 7 mindsets for living out their dreams. So we're looking forward to seeing that implementation this year. Also at the high school level, we're going to be rolling out Gemini and the use of AI technology starting in January. So we'll take the first semester to really teach kids about the ethics of AI and modeling it for it. And we're going to be rolling out new technology for teachers to be able to use. But come January of this year, in the high school level, and at the high school level only, we're going to give kids access to the generative AI technologies to be able to use it appropriately. Look, we want our kids to be prepared to use such technologies moving forward and know how to use it appropriately. So those are some of the big things that I can think of right now that will move us forward.
Well, those are some pretty big things. I don't think that Dr. Joseph had a summer break with the students and teachers in preparation for all of those wonderful and important changes. You know, of course, student achievement is at the heart of everything that you do, and the amazing educators and faculty overall within staff and faculty within Prince George's County Public Schools. What are some of the things that parents and students should ensure that they have in order to succeed this school year academically?
Yeah, this year we're going back to the basics, we're calling it. So we're really focusing our professional development on the science of reading, helping students improve mathematics. So teachers are going to get what's called a teaching and learning framework, really being more prescriptive and focused on what should be happening in a reading and mathematics classroom, the blocks that they're teaching it in. So there's intentional focus, and we spent a lot of time thinking through that, looking at research and best practices and working to implement. We've streamlined the curriculum in reading and mathematics this year to really hone in and be more focused. We had lots of different options for teachers to select from last year, but we realized, sometimes it can be confusing when you give people just so much to do. So we're streamlining and really focusing so people can teach the curriculum, with fidelity and really help kids execute on that work. We're adding math coaches this year to some of our neediest schools. So teachers are going to get additional support and feedback from math experts throughout the district, and we're working, to ensure that, again, there's just quality first instruction. We said last year when I came in, one of the things I did was look at answering the question, are kids making adequate growth in reading and mathematics? And, you can do some statistical analyses on performance to get that answer. And what we found was that in Prince George's County, kids do make a year's growth in a year's time. So they're growing. But the problem is, we've got so many students in Prince George's County, only 40% of students in Prince George's County go to preschool. And of those students, 60% start kindergarten in reading and mathematics on grade level. So we've got a lot of kids for a multitude of reasons, like English isn't their first language or such, that come in a little behind. So if we just grow kids 1 year, then they're still going to be behind when they take those state tests. So we say we don't have a remediation problem in Prince George's County. We have an acceleration imperative. And that's why it's really important that we don't waste any time, be real clear about what we're doing in reading and mathematics, because our goal is to accelerate learning and put things in place to be able to do that. And so that's our focus this year. So teachers are going to come in very focused from day one to be ensuring high quality teaching and learning across 200 schools.
Well, I'm just so excited about that plan, because I didn't even think about the notion of where, particularly if students haven't done preschool, they're behind. Even,
Right.
at first when you said it, I'm like, what math skills do 5-year-olds have already coming in? But there's a lot. There's counting. There's, and things that are really important. So thank you. Now, I know that attendance is another piece that is critical to not only student success, but stats and overall things to the educational system here in Prince George's and everywhere. But tell us a little bit about why attendance is critical and how parents and students alike can assure that they're not only at school every day, but at school on time.
Yeah, attendance is complex because there are a lot of different reasons why a kid might not show up to school. What's important for us is to get to the root cause and find out why, and connect kids and families with the supports that they need to be there. So last year, going into last semester, working with County Executive Aisha Braveboy, we came up with a community compact where we had business leaders and government officials in the school system actually sign a compact and come up with a comprehensive plan to ensure that every school had a team within the school, that was focused on improving attendance, monitoring kids when they're not there, working with families and getting those families connected to resources and supports. It's important because, again, if kids aren't in school and aren't gaining benefit from great teachers teaching them, strong curriculum, then they're not going to grow. So we've got to get kids in school to get them ready to be prepared for the rigor, because Maryland has some of the highest standards in the country. I don't think people realize that. Like, the standards we have set in this state are extremely high, and they should be. But it means kids got to be there, and we've got to work real hard to accelerate them. And so that's the goal this year for us.
Well, it's a great goal and so incredibly important. And I'm just going to throw out there to the students, don't make your parents take you to school. Get on that bus on time. You can't be late to school and your parents be late to work. It does not work that way.
That's exactly right.
And so, there's you all are incorporating AI this year. There's an extra 5 minutes. This great behavioral and emotional wellness programming that's being added. What else should parents be equipped with and know before heading into this school year so that they can tap into all of these great resources?
Yeah, so one of the things that is new again this year is we've created some data profiles for every one of our schools. So any parent can go to their school's website or go to the school district's website, and they can pull up their school's data and performance. And they can tell whether the school has made growth over the past 3 years or not. We compare the school's current performance to the state's performance, because in Prince George's County, like I said, we're growing kids and we're proving we're growing kids, but we've got to accelerate growth. But sometimes parents just see, oh, Prince George's County is ranked, 23 out of 25 of the school districts in Maryland. But when you look deeper into it, you'll see kids are actually growing within schools. They didn't hit the standard, but they were, 3 grades behind the standard. They moved up 2 grades. So they still didn't hit the standard, but they grew 2 grades. So we've got to tell those stories much clearer for parents to understand that you can get a great education in any of our comprehensive schools. And where the data says that that's not happening, then they should be saying, well, school system, what are you doing about it? But making that data transparent was very important for us this year. I think people forget that in Prince George's County, we educate 25% of all of the African-American students in the state of Maryland. And we educate 30% of all of the multilingual learners in the state of Maryland. That's significant to have that in one district. And, our data shows that if you're a Black student in Prince George's County, on average, your scores are higher than Black children throughout the state of Maryland. Having said that, Black children in the state of Maryland have a lot more work to do to grow because the data isn't where it needs to be. But for me, it's important to compare apples to apples and look at the conditions of how we got here, why we got here, and what are we doing to grow. And that's the work we're educating our schools on, for the schools to educate parents on, so we can collectively roll up our sleeves and just work to move us. But we need parents to be engaged, to be informed, and to be in buildings present, because their presence makes a difference. When kids know that their parents are paying attention, their parents show up, and their parents are expecting and working in partnership with schools, they do better.
Yes.
So we need parents to be actively engaged, actively demanding, actively asking questions, and we're going to give them all the information that they need to be able to best support us as we support their kids.
Well, it's such important work that you all are doing, and we know that the parents play a critical role. And you all heard it first. Dr. Joseph said, if y'all are there, then you're allowed to hold Prince George's County accountable. Unless you're not there, unless you're not present, you don't know what's going on in order to do that.
That's it.
Yes. Oh, so, before I let you go, Dr. Joseph, I know that there's so much excitement ahead for this 2026-2027 school year.
Yeah.
What is your vision for the students of Prince George's County? What is your hope for every student this year as they tackle on not only a new grade, but continue to, as you said, accelerate and grow and thrive?
Yeah, I mean, my vision is that we move forward by design. That's the name of our new strategic plan, and it's an intentional name that we expect to move intentionally this year, and we expect our kids to grow intentionally. One of the things we're excited about this year is we've expanded our dual enrollment opportunities. So kids in all 20 of our high schools, or 25 of our high schools, have access to dual enrollment opportunities at Prince George's Community College, Bowie State University, and the University of Maryland Global Campus. This is a game changer because it's going to give them access to college level coursework in any of the high schools that we have within the district. We're also hoping to dramatically expand our workforce development programs and getting our kids apprenticeships and opportunities to work in the local businesses and communities within the Prince George's County region. So we're looking forward to working with Congressman Glenn Ivey, along with Senator Alsobrooks, with Employ Prince George's, to really just expand our workforce development and dramatically increase apprenticeships. Because we know while we have a large percentage of our kids that do go to college, we've got a large percentage of our students that go directly into the workforce. And we want to make sure they're workforce ready because, our county executive has been really focused on expanding economic opportunity. We have the Sphere coming. We have some quantum labs emerging, and we have a lot of federal opportunities within Prince George's County. And we just want our kids prepared to be able to go directly into those high-paying jobs. And so that is a major focus for us this year. So we're excited. We've been working hard. We've been planning. And now it's time to execute. So we're looking forward to getting this year started so people can really see what it looks like when a school district is serious about improvement and making access and opportunity for all children possible.
Well, I am so excited and fired up. It sounds like it's going to be such a great school year with so many important initiatives to ensure that the next generation thrives, or the next generations. I guess you got about 15 levels of grades up in there. So yes, no, I so appreciate your time, your work, and Dr. Joseph, you have to come back and see us maybe once the school year really starts getting warmed up and in.
I promise you I will.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you. Have a wonderful school year, and please send the Washington Informer's best to the entire Prince George's County Public Schools family.
Will do, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Okay. I have the pleasure today of speaking with Dr. Kevin Beckford and Yasmin Selena, who are co-founders of the Hustlers Guild. And they're going to be talking to us about alternatives to some of the approaches that the district and other jurisdictions around the country have been taking to address this issue. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Kevin Beckford and Yasmin Selena to Let's Talk. How are you all both doing?
Doing well.
Doing great over here. Thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Before we get started, tell us a little bit about your program, Hustlers Guild.
Sure. The Hustlers Guild was founded in 2017 by myself, Dr. Kevin Beckford, and Jason Spear, all policy experts who have done a ton of work, a dozen of years of work from policy down to entertainment, working on Capitol Hill and the White House. The idea of this organization was to find a safe place that will encourage innovative ideas for our young students. We are based out of Washington, D.C., but we've been able to expand this workforce development organization, giving our students hard skills, also as well as social and emotional learning skills, self-regulation, self-determination to figure out what environments that you belong in. We've been able to pipeline our students from graduation directly into certification programs, expanding into Chicago, the Boston area, Atlanta, as well as doing program out of LA, New Orleans, and some cities out of Mississippi and Alabama as well. The organization focuses on, like I said, hard skills, making sure that our kids have skills that are going to help them get jobs. We are equity-based, making sure that they sustain themselves outside of the effects of poverty. But we also have expanded into wraparound support services with other community organizations to assist their parents and other people in the household as well.
That's a whole lot, Selena. And I want to ask, I mean, the headlines leave people believing that youth crime is spiraling out of control. But you all have found some alternatives to this. I mean, we still are dealing with issues of youth crime. And sadly, we're still losing some of our young people on the streets due to violent crime. But what impact, first of all, what does the data tell you? What have you discovered in the work that you've done? And what impact do you think you're having?
Right. For our data, we always have a wait list for our organization. There are other few organizations in DC that have wait lists for students to enroll into the organization as well. So I don't think that there is necessarily a quote unquote teen issue. When I look at teen versus adults, it's an adult responsibility to feel how resources are going to be allocated. One major thing that I do want to talk about with our data is that we've had the pleasure of hosting on average of 300 kids a school year, and we have had no incidents. When there are one or two incidents that come in the media and you look at our data is set over here with the amount of kids that go through our program and graduate. And then you have this small set of data that is an outlier of what is happening. And then the media takes that narrative and they kind of run with it. This isn't a teen issue. This is an investment issue. When you're looking at spaces and different places that kids can go to at certain hours to play, when you look at a bowling alley in DC, you automatically think of the one in Georgetown or the one over Rhode Island Avenue that is very expensive. So how are we going to get our kids to go there? When you think about skating, we as a city, yes, we're growing and tourism is amazing, but we are forgetting about the day-to-day that people live there every day that is making it affordable and accessible. There are places and there are organizations that are doing the work, and I just really wish that it was a highlight to have these people at the table to duplicate the things that are working. You talk about how much money that confine our youth into incarceration. That is $100,000 a year. Some organizations are only giving $100,000 for 50 kids. But it costs $100,000 to keep one confined into juvenile detention. So there's a way that investment has been shifted into things that work, into more so authority, and to misplace those things to like the pipeline from school to prison. And those are things that we like to talk about, but also disrupt as well.
Kevin, you can take yourself off of mute and tell us, what role do you play and what have you experienced as a part of this program?
Yeah, so Yasmin gave a brilliant summation of the programming that the Hustlers Guild provides. I think the heart of this argument isn't so much, the teenagers themselves and in their orientation, but more so the question lies on us as far as what do we do with teenagers? Like, right, are we providing resources and opportunities for them to thrive? Every summer, for example, our Instagram is filled with DMs with students asking, are y'all doing SYEP programming again? Or is there a camp again? Like, right. And the thing that we battle as a nonprofit organization is raising those funds sustainably and providing programming that is relevant. As Yasmin said, We're in a time in which rec parks, they are closing down and closing early. Malls are not allowing young people to gather. And so spaces where young people used to congregate, where their families generationally, would hang out, they're now being excluded from those spaces. And so young people are really faced with this challenge of like, where do we go? And there are tons of organizations like us that are willing to provide opportunities for them to do things and spaces for them to go. But simultaneous to efforts like ours, their funding is being cut, and then there's aggressive policies and dangerous narratives that is put into the media that challenge their posterity and our ability to support them.
So who are you all talking to, or who's listening? It doesn't sound like, from what you all are saying, that folks are looking at evidence-based practices. It sounds like the council may not be listening, the mayor may not be listening. Now we have this new attorney general who's taken this really hard line on what should happen to young people in the District of Columbia. Have you all been able to have a sit down with her? I should remember her name, but I get so angry when I think about her. But anyway, the new attorney general for the District of Columbia. Have you had an audience with any of these folks, and what are they telling you when it comes to supporting what you're doing?
Yes, we have sat down, and a lot of council members in the district are familiar with our work. They have been supporters of our work. I think when you think about the teen takeovers and the narrative there, a big part of it is understanding that it is a public safety issue. So we definitely do not turn the cheek at understanding what and how this has been defined as public safety. Everyone deserves to be in public spaces in DC. Everyone deserves to feel safe. Our standpoint of view is that once the federal government had intervened and started putting this heavy responsibility towards fines and incarceration on households and families, we believe that something needs to be done. But we're just saying that incarceration and fining families is not the answer. These things happen every summer. The former mayor and mayor of DC did an amazing job with looking at other cities, finding out what works with the SYEP and bringing it over to the District of Columbia. Amazing program that gives hundreds of our students money in their pocket to do whatever that they need to do. We're just saying that there needs to be a redirection and a collaborative effort on things that it may work, but we're just saying incarceration is definitely not the answer for an adult or a child, because that then brings a longer issue of recidivism that needs to be into the conversation, as well as juvenile justice. So we have been talking to people, we have talked to people, we have expressed, they have been supportive. And they have, been able to bring us in a fold on multiple grants, but we're just saying that more investment needs to be put into preventative work and not so more on the reactive side of things.
And if I could quickly just add on to that, a big schism exists as well in the narrative in how we're talking about young people, right? So teen takeover, for example, it isn't a police or news term. It's actually a term that teenagers themselves coined on TikTok to signal that they are gathering. So it's hype language, it's energy language, like, hey, where do we go? Let's go to this spot, right? And the press actually took it up and turned it into a crime label. And so a big part of the conversation and the big piece of our engagement is dispelling myths and narratives about why youth are, gathering, making the argument that, hey, like, they are teenagers, they are in fact developing, they need space, they need opportunities to gather, right? And so our big in addition to having conversations with policymakers, we're doing all we can, and many advocates across the city are doing all they can to disrupt these very dangerous narratives. You go on like IG, for example, and you'll see a reporter showing you the faces of young people in a small scuffle of a big crowd, right? That's super problematic, right? Or they're talking about them in crime language, right? And so a big part of it for us too is just disrupting that very dangerous narrative, and that very dangerous narrative that exists because they're Black and brown young people.
So you all, the benefit for you all is that you are engaging with these young people. So you get a chance to talk to them and they get a chance to talk to you, right? Which is what a lot of these folks don't do much of. But clearly, and we've seen it because of videos and television and what have you, that when you have these quote unquote teen takeovers, that there tends to be some type of, at least the ones we hear about. Now, there may be some that where this doesn't happen, but there does seem to be some type of outbreak of, I guess I can't avoid the word, but violence, right? Kids fighting, and it's usually a small group. But do they tell you all why that happens? What makes it occur, and what makes teen takeovers not great places for teens that are really looking just to hang out? Do they talk about it?
Well, I think one important thing that we keep missing is we have hockey games in DC where we have thousands of people that are coming together and fighting after the games. There are baseball games that people are fighting at. There are so many different events that something happens. So just to have an incident of violence at one thing that teenagers are at, I think is snowballing and picking up its own narrative. The one thing that we do well at the Hustlers Guild is that we talk and we listen to our students. We find out, what do you want to do to get involved? What are things that you feel like are missing for young kids? And then from there, we're able to bring our expertise to the table. So these aren't things that kids are like, oh yeah, well, we have beef with kids over here, we want to meet up at the teen. They are looking for fun stuff to do. It's the summertime. They see people on TikTok and Instagram talking about how amazing DC is, and they just want to go beyond their neighborhood. I am so proud for a lot of the students that are able to reach out and go explore Navy Yard, and that are able to go explore Georgetown, that usually typically would not leave their neighborhood. But now I just feel like, as a collective unit, what are some ways that we can strengthen our community in the district, and also help facilitate some of these instances where I know DPR does a good thing when they have like the teen link up at nighttime throughout the summer, but apparently the kids want more things to do and they want to get more involved. So we just have to be very careful with how we decide to reward and punish our youth. And I definitely think at just going after families in general is a very dangerous narrative to pick up on. But our teenagers tell us all the time they want to do fun stuff. Like they go bowling. I could text them right now and be like, hey, you want to go to Dave and Buster's? They want to go. I say, you want to go fishing? They want to go. It shows me that kids are interested in community and they want to be around environments that allow them to be kids.
I don't know how we forget what we were like as teenagers, and particularly if you're living in urban situations and with working parents or what have you, and it's the summertime, or it's still daylight or whatever, and just the things that you kind of wanted to do, and found activities like the Hustlers Guild to keep you focused. So it's a blessing that you all are available and working to address this issue. But what would you have the community to do? How can the community support what Hustlers Guild is doing?
There's always ways to donate to our programming to keep the programming going. I say that if for those who feel like something needs to be done within their neighborhood, find an organization or a school to donate to if you feel that you want to donate beyond the Hustlers Guild. Us as the organization, we adopt 3 schools in DC a year where we offload our corporate resources to. That helps out a lot, from donated food to shoes, clothes, book bags, and supplies all year to help our educators. We know this is a collaborative effort. So outside of donating, I would say 100%, if you could just find a way to give back to a school on your block, that helps us beyond the school and the classroom. It helps the educators, the principals, and that's the community as a whole. And I also want to say something that we also do, being that a lot of our kids are playing sports, is that we teamed up with Coach Rob over at Roosevelt High School, a phenomenal man and the DC history legend, has been working with DC young boys for 30 years. He takes kids from all over DC. Kids travel from Southeast all the way uptown just to be under his leadership and his coaching as a Black man in our community. And I think it's very important to look into people like that in DC who have been doing this work for decades, and it doesn't mean nothing for them that they want to see a legacy that is made in our city continue amongst Black people. And I think that's something amazing too. Kevin, if you want to add any other ways that this can continue to go on, and I'll be more than happy to hear it.
Absolutely. So well stated. I would say, in addition to what Yasmin shared in terms of investment, I would say folk can flip the script. we all have a role to play in the ways in which we talk about young people, especially Black and brown young people. We are allowing very disruptive, disturbing, anti-Black narratives to reign supreme in talking about our youth. And so I think whether it's, a news story where you see a young person's face, for example, like in a small scuffle, for example, which is very bad practice, by the way, right to that news story, or if you see don't engage in negative, disheartening conversation about young people in a comment section, for example. Like, there are these small ways that in which we can really disrupt and challenge narratives. Look here, it's important to note that youth crime across the country is at its lowest levels. And here in DC specifically, juvenile arrests have barely moved between 2024 and 2025, right? But the narratives that are so widespread with regards to violence would have you think otherwise. And so I would encourage everybody who's listening and wanting to get involved and support, continue to invest for sure, but to be disruptive and to really challenge these anti-Black narratives about Black and brown youth.
As a person, with a community newspaper that's been covering, these issues for many years, and it seems as though, there's always a desire to not give credit to those community-based organizations that have really been making a difference. And many have come, and sadly they've gone because of the lack of funding and because of the lack of support. So I'm glad that you all are here. And the Hustlers Guild has been around about how long now, Yasmin?
We're in year 9 right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would think, are, as you said, your young people have never been involved in any violent situations. I'm not sure if you've lost any to violence, but I know that the effort is to make sure that there are positive and productive activities that they can participate in. I think we have a photograph that we wanted to show of them actually on a visit to the White House. Sadly, they can't go anymore, and it's not the kids' fault. It's because of the violence of adults in and around that White House that makes this may make this inaccessible. But glad to know. And where else have you taken these kids?
We've taken them to Orlando to do training with the Orlando Magic. We've taken them to New York to meet with entertainment like Sony Music and Rock Nation. We've taken some to Chicago as well. So we're always looking to different places. And sometimes this is their first time flying. So it's just an amazing opportunity for our kids to experience something. And we also feel that experience and access is also something that is a privilege. So we try to dissolve these gaps in knowing that these moments could be life-changing for a lot of our students.
And interestingly enough, you're talking about as many boys as girls, it seems. You've got a lot of young men that you're working, young boys you're working with as well. Is that true?
Yes, there's actually more boys involved and young men involved in our program that there are girls. It's not that because we're like intentionally recruiting them. It's because of their interest in the program and how well that they do in the program. We do, like, our girls out there, they show up too, but it's been a majority of boys in our program that tend to come through the program.
Before I let you go, I'm always curious as to folks' journey. Their journeys. How did they end up in this place and space doing this kind of work? And for you, Kevin, how did you end up with the passion that you have for young people, and also your journey to Hustlers Guild? What got you here?
Yes, sure. So I had the blessing of serving as an educator in the Philadelphia area prior to actually working with Yasmin at the White House. So she and I were colleagues under the Obama, got to state that, White House. And we were always out and about in community, volunteering with young people, working amongst the community. And, there were so many young people that, as we're working, they're like, we've never been to the White House. Where is that? There's Google here. There's a Facebook headquarters here. All these places that are in the backyard of their backyard in this illustrious city. They did not have access to, right? And so it was imperative for us as young Black professionals who have a passion for young people to turnkey the access and opportunity that we had to the DC area. And so that is how we came to start. This is all Yasmin's brainchild. I have the honor of working alongside her as a co-founder and being of service to the community.
Yasmin, what about you? What got you here?
I wanted to create a space that I wish I had growing up. My family is seven generations DC Washingtonians. I'm talking about first and Flagler before that became gentrified, and they're still living in public housing from Trinidad area over to North Capitol Street, Tallahouse. I think it is extremely important to be able to see, touch, think, and believe beyond the circumstances that you're in. I think that is also very critical towards the development of yourself. And I don't think that anyone should be put and confined in their reality due to something that they had no control over. So I'm a big dreamer. I'm a big believer. I believe that you can be in places that are new to you. I wanted to create a place that people would just show up as themselves and get the support that they need. So that's how I became such an advocate for this work, because I grew up being those kids in those areas that just needed something, someone to advocate for them.
Wow, amazing. So before we go, any last words? I want to put up your website so people, or contact information, so people know how to reach out in case they want to support, volunteer, donate, whatever the case may be, or even refer some young folks. But any last words?
I would just say that we don't have a teen problem, but we have a narrative problem and we have an investment problem. And I would encourage, all that are listening to invest, to support, to give whatever resources possible, and to challenge negative narratives about our youth.
Great.
Yes. I would say that our teens are brilliant. I believe that our teens feed off into stuff that we put out to them. I believe that public safety is extremely important to everyone in this country. So I'm an advocate for public safety. I'm just saying that incarceration is not the answer to teen issues that have been a generational issue within our country in the justice system. And I want to say congratulations to everyone that is doing this work. We don't get the hand claps and the support that we need, but the fact that we have more students completing our program and graduating and doing the things that we set for them to do than the ones who aren't, like, we are the real champions in this work, and we can't get discouraged by it.
Wonderful, wonderful. I see in the chat also that Kevin, you've responded that this program is open to people around, young people across the region, not just DC kids, correct? Wonderful. Well, Yasmin, Kevin, thank you. We don't get a chance to hear voices like yours often that say, what the alternatives are and people who are actually doing the work. So I want to thank you for being with us today and for sharing your great work, and to know that the door is open. Anytime you want to bring some of your young folks back and give them an opportunity to talk to us on Let's Talk, I would welcome that.
That's great.
All righty. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for joining us. All righty.
Take care.
Hi, my name is Andrea Swanson, founder and executive director of Swanson Family Academy. We are a community restorative program dedicated to strengthening families through leadership development, accessible education, and sustainable resources for individuals to revitalize their families and restore and elevate entire communities. Today, our Swanson Family Academy second annual Beyond the Backpack School Drive is here at Atlantic Gardens in Ward 8. The purpose of our Beyond the Backpack School Drive is to provide our students with hygiene products and essential products used to help students build confidence throughout the school year and feel good and look great as they head into schools to learn for the school year. So we provided with them with deodorant, laundry detergent, toothpaste, toothbrushes, floss, right? I know y'all dentists is gonna love that. And the reason for this is because as a DCPS educator, this will be my 17th school year. What I learned is that students often come to school with all the school supplies, but they don't have all the necessary hygiene products to keep them smelling good and feeling confident throughout the day. Children are changing in middle school and high school, their bodies change, and it's different. So it's essential that we provide more than just school supplies. We provide them with a source and resources for them to take care of themselves, to practice better self-care and self-love throughout the school year. Some students experience homelessness, Some students experience a variety of different things in the home. And so we just want to make sure that we bridge that gap.
My name is Marquise Walton. I'm here with Swanson Family Academy, and we're out here at the Back to School Unity Cookout. And right now, we passed out over 150 book bags, gave out school supplies, gave out hygiene products. We didn't get to feed the community today because the community was fed on our behalf. But that's a lot of the things that we've been trying to bring to the community is whatever they're insecure in. They're insecure in food, they're insecure in necessities, and they're insecure in mindset. And we wasn't always that way myself. But we had to work our way up to that. So let me say, a goal of Swanson Family Academy is to basically give back to the community what we learned. So we walk so everybody else can run. And we've been through these things. We've come through these type of communities, and we don't have anything we trying to give back to the community because we're trying to show them that you can make it out of here. You can be whatever you want to be. You just have to change your mindset. You have to change your environment. You have to change what you're doing every day. And these small things add up to big, large things. The small things add up, and don't let anybody ever tell you that small things don't add up. I'm a firm believer in that, and just like we were talking about, you have to pick up the small things just to get the big, just because you're a big goal. So, we're out here in the community. We gave out book bags. We gave out hygiene products. We gave out our hearts. We gave out our souls, and we're just trying. I'm here along with my sister, my mom, and we're just a family. We're a community. We're all unified. We're not perfect, but we're striving for greatness. So I just hope that, people can see us, and hopefully they can kind of model after us, and they can also help us because we need help. And, everything costs money. Everything, is valuable. So we're putting value behind this. We're putting our time behind this. And we're trying to do what we can to serve the community.
Hey, my name is Dominique Cherry. I'm with DC Monarchs Youth Sports Organization. We're here in the community today doing this back to school supply drive for 2026. I believe it's very important in our community to have these type of events. Confidence is everything when it comes down to the kids, and having what you need when schools first starts, it's the best way that a kid can get off to a great start. I work up the street at the Friendship Southeast Academy. Most of our students are here. Some of our students are here. And I see the difference in when they come in prepared and ready for school versus when they come in unprepared. This goes a long way. I'd like to thank also our community partners with this, Miss Swanson, Andrea Swanson with Swanson Family Academy, and Cure the Streets, Watch the Informer, and the rest of you guys for coming out, helping out the community, helping out our youth.
The Village Learning Lab is a Swanson Family Academy signature restorative community learning program. We created this program for an intergenerational model, engaging space after school and during summer where children and families can learn beyond the classroom and beyond the community. Our approach is hands-on. We focus on the entire family, not just on children. So they participate in literacy, financial literacy, technology, entrepreneurship, wellness, leadership development, and the creative arts. We expose them to real-world experiences through guest speakers, college and career exploration, and educational field trips. We believe that families learn best by experiencing the world. We partner with people and with our families because it really takes a village to raise a child. Our goal is to build confidence, strengthen life skills, and help families transform their lives by discovering their purpose while creating stronger community connections.
My name is Darren White, and this is my first time being with this agency, but it's very important to have stuff like this for people who can't afford it, who don't have enough money to get it. It's hard times out here. They give you detergent to wash the kids' clothes. They just giving out shirts and stuff. Like, what they're doing is really amazing. And I found out about it through friends, and then I think they had it posted on the building on the side. So they made a lot of awareness, so they got a lot of people come out.
Hi, everybody. I am Lisa Swanson Canty. I am the mother and matriarch of the Swanson Family Academy. I say that because Andrea Swanson is my daughter. She's the CEO, and she is the incubator of the idea and the vision. And we, as the family in the village, we executed it. I'm so excited about today's event here in Atlantic Gardens. As a young girl who grew up in the Ivy City community and privilege of the Southeast community and Valley Avenue and Connoisseurs, we absolutely love being able to give back to the community because we have been fortunate. We have been blessed. We have been able to do grassroots in the community in Ivy City. So we know what it takes. We know what it's like. We know what it will look like to have a village come together. And so we're just super excited to be able to partner with Wynn Properties, that they saw the vision that we gave them and they allowed us to come and to put our program into their facility for 6 weeks. And the kids loved it. They absolutely loved it. They learned financing. They learned budgeting. They learned family values. They learned new words. They learned so many different things. And we don't just service the children in the community. We service the moms. We service the dads, the grandmoms. We believe in Ujima, which is unity. And so we want to bring the concept of the village back to the community, because if we can get back to the core and the heart of our roots, which is the village, I believe we can make a greater impact as we have done today at the Atlantic Gardens community.
It's very important to show these young people that it ain't always about violence and that we need to stick together. And we need to start with little stuff like this, then to spread.
Hello, my name is Daniel Richardson, and I'm out here attending this wonderful event. I am so happy to have been invited to come here to this National Night Out event. We're from Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. We've been in the field for many years, and we do appreciate coming out to help some of the people in the community that need our services. So we appreciate if you were to get in touch with us as soon as you possibly can if you're interested in any type of insurance. And we do. We're grateful for coming out here today. Thank you.
I love the fact that we are an intergenerational model. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. From here, I graduated from Duke Ellington. I'm so UDC, I graduated from UDC. Okay, I got my master's. I'm actually going back to study educational law and policy because after being in the classroom for almost 17 years, I now want to start to influence the law around education and how it's governed. Because I'm a classroom teacher, I think a lot of change needs to start up in law so that it can trickle down to benefit our children. I also believe that communities that are often under-resourced are the communities that are the strongest. Like, we are the power that we seek. Like, don't look to anyone else to save us. We can save us. And that is some of our core values. Umoja, unity. But one of the other ones, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. It is all of our responsibility to look after our children, to help one another when we're falling down or when we're falling off. And that is what Swanson Family Academy is all about. It's not just providing after-school programs or resume help. Like, we are here to transform lives through community restoration, right? When individuals are empowered, they come back and become powerful in their communities. And so that is what is important. There is no other program like Swanson Family Academy. We just need the platform to help us keep going. One of the things I want to stress to the audience is that we do this all year round. We really need donations. A lot of this organization is funded by me because it is a nonprofit and we are in our first 5 years. I totally expected that, but we really need the community support. Every dollar goes back to the community. We are 501c3. It is tax deductible. And so we need donations so that we can continue to give children hygiene products throughout the school year, so we can continue our operational village learning lab in Ward 7 and 8 right now, where we mainly operate. We want to offer more adult literacy courses, resume help. We want to make sure that it's not just we're giving them the assistance, but that we're giving them the skills, because skills pay the bills and they're transferable into employment. And that's ultimately what our families to have, is sustainable and stable households, so that they can elevate and live out their dreams and their purpose.
On the count of 3, I want everyone to say, we believe in unity. 1, 2, 3. We believe in unity. Umoja. Let's practice it throughout the year and bring back the village. Thank you, guys.